Your service changes and evolves over your lifetime, but it should never stop.
Hi, my name's Devon. Today I own several multi-million-dollar companies. We started with $5,000 in a credit card. I don't know the easy way. I only know the hard way.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Whiteboard Entrepreneur Podcast, where I give straightforward advice to fuel the entrepreneur in all of us. I'm Devon Dickinson, and today I want to talk to you about living a life of service. And this is a hot topic right now, particularly with millennials, where they want to work for a company that fuels in their desire for philanthropic endeavors, right? And I get that, right? Because I'm very service oriented. I love to volunteer. I think to this day, there's not a week that goes by that I don't spend hours volunteering, either in coaching or in some form of something in my church or some other organization that I'm involved in. I love giving back. My wife and I have been involved in stuff overseas, here in the U.S., and it's just part of who I am. But I'm also an entrepreneur, right? And so what's a beautiful thing in the world is when you can have a company or an organization that somehow you have this, you're making profit and it's paying all the bills and it's worthwhile. And then also at the same time, it meets your philanthropic needs. And it's like, man, dead center. And so many people are looking for that right now in their lives. And I love that. I mean, it's amazing. And there are certain organizations that actually do have those intersections. But I want to challenge you to kind of change your thinking on this, because if you can find that, great. And you know what? I think as a company and as a leader and within your organization, you should set up things so that your company gives back, right? So that you give back, so that the people in your organizations give back. But remember, at the end of the day, we personally are responsible to live a life of service. And I share this story because it happens all the time. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and they at their company had this situation where a bunch of people wanted to get together and they all wanted to go and volunteer on a Friday afternoon. They were going to take their whole company and they were all going to go volunteer on this Friday afternoon. And it was going to be a company-wide event, and it was really cool. And my friend was like, yeah, let's do it, right? And they did it. But what was funny was I started listening to people talk, and they were like, oh yeah, we volunteered our time on Friday afternoon. And I kind of chuckled. I was like, well, let's be honest here. You actually didn't volunteer anything. You got paid to work. My friend who owned the company, he volunteered, right? He's paid for it because he was paying you to go and work. And, listen, it was awesome. I think it's so cool. And he was happy to do it. I mean, he's a wonderful man. I think, I love the organization. I love everything that they were doing. But in our minds, there's so many people that think like that. Like it becomes the company's responsibility to fulfill my philanthropic and service needs that I have, when really at the end of the day, it's the company's responsibility to be profitable and make money so that tomorrow when you come in or on Monday morning when you come in, you have a job so you can get a paycheck that Friday. And that's truly the company's responsibility. If the company goes above and beyond and does these philanthropic things, that's amazing and good for you. And that sounds like a great organization. But you need to go out externally, outside of your company, and whether you're the business owner or whether you're, the employee at the company, you need to live a life of service. And it's not someone else's responsibility. It's not your company's responsibility, because if they're doing it, then they're paying for it, and you actually haven't served anything. And you say, well, Devon, I'm busy. I'm a busy guy. I'm a busy gal. I totally get it. Absolutely. I understand. And maybe there are moments and times in your life when you don't have those capabilities or that bandwidth, right? But that needs to be a priority at some point in your life. So just like we plan out, like, hey, we're going to plan out our goals, we're going to plan out vacations, we're going to plan out things, you need to plan service in your life. You need to plan giving back in your life. Now, there was a point in time in my life when I could do more, and some points in my time when I could do less. But I had a plan, and I executed against that plan. There was one point in my life when I was younger, I didn't have kids, I had a ton of energy, And I went and did Big Brothers, Big Sisters. It was awesome. Me and my little brother, we'd go do all kinds of stuff. I had energy to do it. It was great. At this point in time, you know, I wouldn't be a big brother. I'd probably be like a big grandpa or something. But like there's your service changes and evolves over your lifetime, but it should never stop. Does that make sense? Just because you're reaching these different points and these different transitions in your life doesn't mean that your service stops. It can evolve. We were created. That's the type of people that we are. We were made to serve. Make that and take that as your responsibility, not as your company's responsibility, not as somehow, you know, the whole world's going to come together and you're going to wait and find this perfect company that pays you an unbelievable paycheck and somehow meets and fulfills all of those needs, because that's not the company's job. That's your job. I'm Devon. This is Whiteboard Entrepreneur, and I really hope this helps today. Take a quick moment and hit that subscribe button for more content.